Alright, so I think we're actually going to do this. After all the messages I've received about the Cybertruck, I think I kinda have to make a video and redesign the Cybertruck. So here's the thing, I know it's been a ton of redesigns and modifications made to the Cybertruck since it was presented, and I've received a lot of messages from you guys wanting me to make a redesign of it, even though I feel like I don't want to, because it's such a unique design and it's going to change the design of cars moving forward. I think this is going to be one of these unique car designs that's actually going to change the way cars are designed, or at least influence the future of car design. So I feel a bit of resistance towards redesigning this car, but anyway, let's have some fun and let's try and see what we can do, because I do have some ideas on how I want to change the Cybertruck. There are a lot that can be done to it, but at the same time, it's such a simple design that there's really, if you do anything to it, you're going to ruin the overall idea with it. But what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to redesign this Cybertruck with the ideas that I have in mind. Some might not really work out, while some might suit this truck. I guess we'll have to find out, and the only way to do that is to get started. So let's jump in. Going to walk you through this every step that I make and talk about the idea behind those changes, and yeah, let's see how this is going to turn out. First of all, if you're new to the channel, I'm the Sketch Monkey. Welcome, I'm glad you can make it. Today, I do redesigns and stuff like this on my channel, so if you like these kind of videos, you might want to hit that subscribe button. And before you watch this video, you might want to go back and check the video that I made about the Cybertruck and my thoughts about it, and why I really like it and why I think it's a really important car. Go check that out first, because these changes that I make here, they're going to make a lot more sense if you watch that video first. I'm gonna link that up here in the corner. Alright, now let's get started. So for the first change that I want to do to this Cybertruck is to remove this point up here and create more of a traditional looking bed like this, or truck shape, something like this. And I do realize that every single change that I make to this Cybertruck is probably going to increase the retail price of the truck, since it's been designed with price in mind. Keep that in mind when you look at this truck, that every sheet metal part or every surface is very cheap to produce. So the more angles and the more creases you add to a design like this is going to increase the price. But let's not think about that for now, and let's just get started with this and see how this first change is going to turn out. So that was the first very quick change that I've seen a lot of other people do as well. And it does make it look more like a truck when you have this open bed in the rear and not have the C-pillar go down all the way to the end there. But the problem that I have with this design right here is that right now it just loses all of the simplicity, that the super simple geometries that we have in the original, by having all these angles. So we have one corner right there, and then we have a second corner right there, and then a third corner right there, and then of course it goes down to this point right here. So what I want to do here now is to simplify this, and we're going to do that by extending the roof line all the way back here, all the way this way, and then just go straight down here. So that means that we only have we have one single corner in this design, and that's going to be that point right there, instead of having one there and one here, and then of course these points right here. So we're just going to simplify this design even further and extend the roof line and not have it dip down like that. And that of course is going to also bring more room to the rear passenger. So let's see how that is going to look when we make that change. Okay, so I think this looks a lot better than it did when we have too many points up here. We removed this corner point right here and made it into a almost 90-degree angle, and I think it works better, especially when you have a truck design like this. And you also might have noticed that I removed this corner down there as well. I think that creates more of an end point in the front, and it doesn't look too sharp. So as I said in the beginning of this video, I want this to be more of a production version of the Cybertruck, or at least closer to production. So having those very, very sharp glass corners, to me, it feels like it's a really hard thing to put in production. So just smooth some of those surfaces and corners out, and that's what I wanted to do there. Also added this little chamfer down here, and this is going to add to the production cost of the Cybertruck, of course, but it gives it a nice looking stance, and it gives it a it makes it look like it's sitting higher than it actually is, because this chamfer here is going to cast a shadow here. So all this part down here is going to be in the dark, so it's going to look like the car actually ends at this point here, especially at low light. And I think that is a cool feature that would be cool to see on the Cybertruck. Also added this extension of the line, so it goes into the bumper here, and then it goes around here and into this corner around here, and then into this opening down there. So it's a line that is continuous all around the truck. And I also have some ideas of what I want to do with the lights. So the light on this truck, we can play around with that in I think a very cool way, since it's such a geometric design, and I'm gonna show you that of course later in this video. But now let's continue with this redesign of this car, and maybe add some chamfers in the front. I have an idea of what I want to do with the hood, so let's do that right now. Alright, so let's see what is going on here. So I redesigned the lights, and the idea that I had was to replace this orange light down there with this bar up here. So it's a regulation that all cars need to have a side light, and it should be orange. So I want this bar to fade or go from be a smooth gradient from orange in this part right here, and then it goes into the headlight right there. And the same with the rear lights here. So the idea that I have with the rear lights is that it wraps around to the sides of the car, and the harder you push the brake, the more red this light bar becomes. So it starts in the middle. So if you look at the truck straight from the rear, if you push the brake pedal, a part of the middle bar lights up, and the harder you press, the longer this red light stretches all around. So if you're behind this truck, you can see if the driver is slamming the brakes, then the whole thing will light up, or if it's just, you know, tapping the brakes on the highway or something like that. It's just an idea that would be cool to see in cars. As I said in previous videos, I think light design and headlights and rear lights as well is going to have a huge development the next decade or so. So we're going to see some cool light designs in the future, I'm sure of that. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but this was just one of the ideas that I had for the rear brake light and the side light of this Cybertruck. So all that's left to do now here is, since I wanted to be more of a production car, I'm not gonna add any side mirrors. I tried to do that, it doesn't look good. It's this needs to be a specific design or very thin side mirrors. So I'm gonna say that this has cameras, and that the cameras are the stream from the cameras are projected inside of the truck. I think that is also going to be a thing in the future. And at this point, all that's left to do here is to change the wheels, because they're not production type of wheels at all. So we need to put some more conventional wheels on there. And I also want to raise it up just a tiny little bit, a few inches, to make it more off-road looking. And once we're done with that, we're pretty much done with this redesign of the Cybertruck. Idea was to make it a little bit more conventional than the original design, although I really appreciate the original design of the Cybertruck. And I'll talk more about that up here in this video, so you can go check that out if you want to hear my thoughts on the Cybertruck and why I'm such a fan of it. Make sure you stick around for the final changes that we're going to make to the Cybertruck right now. And with that said, thank you so much for watching this video. I had a lot of fun doing this Cybertruck. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I'm the Sketch Monkey. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.